Yo, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. What's up? How's it going? What's up, everybody? Okay, so today we've got some things we're going over. We actually have a bit of a plan, kind of. The first half of the stream is a bit of a plan. The second half, I have no freaking clue what I'm doing. There was no interesting videos to react to. I looked for a good bit today, and I was like, every video is either an opening video or like there aren't any spicy topics to react to today, unfortunately. So I do have one thing we're gonna go over. We are going to be talking about my recent video that I put out, the video game graded return from CGC. Some interesting stuff happened. I was pretty frustrated, obviously. If you've seen the video, you know I'd be frustrated. But at the end of the video, I said, you know what? I probably just have no clue what I'm doing. If you know more than I do, please let me know in the comments below. Would very much appreciate it. Apparently, that made it to CGC Video Games somehow, and one of the senior graders there commented on the video a couple times and basically let me know exactly what was wrong with the games that one didn't get graded or the sun faded one. So we're gonna take a second look at the games in this stream. I'm going to show you how wrong I was because I found exactly what they were looking for on basically every game. And it was really just good information to have been told because I felt like I have a bit better of an understanding now when grading video games with CGC, exactly what they are looking at, what's going to give games higher than, 9.2, 9.4, stuff like that, where the confusion came in on a couple of the games, and why some of the games got absolutely shafted. Okay. And then after that, I figure after that might react to a video. I'm not really sure. Like I said, there's really nothing to react to. There was one that I had seen that was basically a unlisted leaf video where he went to Japan for Worlds, and he went to a few different Japanese card shops. It's maybe an interesting watch, and I was there earlier this year, or no, late last year, and I could kind of fill in the gaps maybe on some of his stuff in the video. I haven't watched it yet though, so it could be super comprehensive and I might have nothing to say. There's always a possibility of that as well. But some big stuff outside of the Pokemon space happened. We had Starfield comes out tomorrow, or came out today, early access or something, I don't know. Kind of a hot and cold reception. Some people are freaking out about it, some people are not. Excited to see you on PokeFlips. Yeah, if the podcast isn't canceled by then, I will be on PokeFlips. There was some spicy drama at the end of today's episode, apparently. But yeah, I will be on PokeFlips. The plan is the 13th, I believe, somewhere like 8:30 p.m. or something like that. So yeah, I am gonna be on PokeFlips. I'm excited about that. It should be fun. Basically, like 2 days before Charlotte Collecticon, and I think everyone else leaves Thursday. I'm gonna be at Charlotte Collecticon Friday morning. So it'll be cool. It'll be cool to go on and talk to those guys for sure. But yeah, how you doing, Ernie? How you doing, All Man? I just want Fallout 5. See, I'm just not a Bethesda person at all. I don't get it. It seems to me it's another gaming company that is kind of behind the curve in terms of like graphics and gameplay innovation and stuff like that. It's like all their games are extremely buggy. All of their characters look like they're, PlayStation 3 character models. Like they have the exploration aspect of it, which is kind of interesting, but I don't know. everything is so buggy. And yeah, I don't know, but I just like being able to have settlers. I think I played through Fallout 4. See, that's the reason why I don't like it though, Ernie. I don't like it because for some reason they can put out a game that's basically unplayable and their fan base is like, just wait for the mods, man. Just wait for the mods. The mods will make it playable. It's like, bro, no, I want a game that I can play on day one that's fun. Like, I played Skyrim on PS3 at midnight on release day, and I had mammoths flying through the floor from the sky in like an infinite loop. It was fucking terrible. It was unplayable. And like, but that's just like, okay. It's like the only company that can put out a game like that, and everyone's just like, oh yeah, that's totally okay, guys. It's Bethesda. But yeah, so there's a little bit that like I might play it at some point, but I'm not like super jazzed about it like everyone else was, I guess. Oh yeah, Pokemon is another one of those. It's well behind the curve in terms of everything, in terms of video games. They're absolutely in the same ballpark. Modern Pokemon is, I mean, I don't want to be controversial, but modern Pokemon games are pretty trash. They're terrible. They're really bad in terms of, I mean, graphically, performance-wise, like basically everything about them. The models, just like it. There isn't a whole lot of innovation happening past a certain point with Pokemon. They need to figure out how to stop like throwing in gimmicks nobody wants and just create a really solid, good-looking game. But they make enough money that they don't have to think about those things. I need more Legends of Arceus games. See, I thought that game was kind of bad too, but everything after, like, I thought the Let's Go game was, graphically, I thought the Let's Go game was pretty cool. Everything after that has been garbage. And I don't know if that was before or after Sword and Shield, but Sword and Shield was garbage. And Legends of Arceus graphically was garbage. And the newest game graphically is garbage. Like, they're just all graphically garbage. Let's Go actually looked pretty cool, but it was still kind of in that 2D, 3D. Like, it wasn't fully 3D yet. And then once they went to like a fully 3D, it was like, oh my god, what are you doing? Like, stop. Stop. But go back to the drawing board, man. Quit using like 3DS sprites for your fully three-dimensional open world games. Like, yeah, so it is what it is, though. People get mad at me for people get really mad if you criticize anything Nintendo, because Nintendo is like the golden child. They can put out whatever they want to, and you either love it or you shut the hell up. That's what the Nintendo fans want you to do. If you love it, tell me you love it. If you don't, then shut the hell up and don't say anything. They're very angry when you criticize Nintendo products. There are a bunch of diehard Nintendo fans, but a Pokemon MMO would be cool. I just think this is probably kind of controversial as well, but a Pokemon game that you could build on with expansions, so kind of like an MMO, but like even if it was just an open world game, or it was, I guess it would be an MMO. Yeah, where like you start with one like island or area, like, you know, Kanto. You start with one region, and then 3 months later you put out an expansion that's like a whole brand new region with all a bunch of Pokemon, and then 3 months later you put out another expansion that's a whole brand new region with a whole new like story and more Pokemon, and you just keep like building onto it. And then later on down the line you can make Pokemon 2 or whatever, and then, you know, do the same kind of thing, but yeah, there's not enough money in that. Nintendo doesn't see enough money in that, so, or else they would have done it by now. But yeah, Nintendo really hates money. Over the last like 7 years of playing video games, thinking about these things, like, Nintendo hates money. I don't know why they hate money, but they hate money. The amount, how easy it would be for them to put a lot of their vintage like retro games from way back in the day to like the NES library all the way up to like the 64 library. They could easily put each of those games on the Switch for $4.99, $9.99, $10.99, $19.99 for some of the more popular ones, and people would eat that shit up. They would play those games, they would eat that shit up, they would buy all those games. Instead, you pay like $10 and you pray to Arceus that they actually put a decent game on the online pass. And instead of just putting like the retro console libraries like they used to have on, was it the Wii and Wii U that they had like the full retro libraries for a bunch of the older consoles on there that you could buy games from? Man, they just don't like money. I don't know. They just don't like money. I think they would make a lot. Yeah, probably. The problem is Nintendo fans aren't fans that historically have played MMOs. Like, there's never been an MMO or a game with like a lot of microtransactions or a game where you buy multiple expansions over the course of like years on a Nintendo console. So it would be like basically introducing a brand new genre full of microtransactions, the thing that everyone hates, onto a system and a platform that would probably wholesale reject it. Maybe. Just because they haven't been subjected to that yet from like a gaming sphere. They obviously know that it exists, but I'm not a fan of TOTK. The building is nonsense to me. TOTK. Tears of the Kingdom. The building was fine. I didn't do a lot of the build a mech or build a train or any of that stuff. I just did like the puzzles and shit, and you know, again, like I think Breath of the Wild is the most overrated video game of all time. So you're preaching to the choir on that. So yeah, it's not Zelda anymore. It's Nintendo's version of Minecraft. Oh, it's definitely not that. It's definitely not Minecraft. But I get what you're saying. It's weird. Like, it's definitely not a traditional Zelda game, and I commend them for trying to do something open world and different. And I think that it succeeds for the most part. But I think that it's way overhyped and way overrated as a video game. What's up, Shug Nasty? How's it going? Welcome. We're just shitting on Nintendo right now, so hopefully you're ready for it. Actually, let's jump into the CGC thing. So I want to talk about the CGC. I don't know if you guys saw the video, but I got my CGC video game return back, and I was very disappointed because 2 of the games were suspected reseals. One of the games was apparently faded on the case somewhere that I couldn't see. And then 2 of the games graded a little bit lower than I would have thought they would grade. And I voiced my frustrations in my video, and a representative from CGC, a senior grader at CGC, found the video and actually commented on it and provided a lot of insight into why, like, the 2 reseals, they suspected them of reseals, where the fading on the one case was, like, all this detailed information on why the grades were what they were. And I feel like it was super helpful for me, for someone who might, grade games in the future, to understand kind of what they're looking at from a grading perspective at that particular company or that section of the company for video games. So let's take a look at that super quick. I'll just show you guys what they were looking at. So the 2 Uncharted games, these ones got rejected for being potential reseals. Now, initially I was pretty pissed because I was like, I reached out to the company I bought them from, and they're like, we buy them wholesale from, closeout stores and stuff like that and all this. And now I'm just wholesalely convinced that this Amazon place that I bought these from resealed the games themselves. I am 100% on board with saying that company on Amazon resealed the games, because I know exactly why now CGC rejected the games as reseals. So basically, the guy in the comment said, let me just read it word for word so we can just go over it. A quick note on the sealed games. Damage was found under shrink wrap to the sleeve and art and not on the shrink wrap. because it had been replaced after damage happened. There were a few things we noted wrong that we protect so scammers don't learn what we look for. So basically he's saying there's a couple things that I'm not going to tell you because we don't want scammers to get this information, because it would make it easier for people to do reseals. But his first thing was they found damage that was under the wrap that didn't affect the wrap, which would make it seem like it was resealed, right? It was opened, it was damaged, and then someone resealed over it. Because you would expect that if there was damage under the wrap, there would be damage to the wrap, which makes sense to me, logically. Now, I don't know how well that tracks with, like, could the damage have happened before the game was sealed in the factory? Maybe. I don't see why not. But they're probably going to err on the side of caution. And, you know, as a grading company, I fully understand that. But you wouldn't really be able to prove whether or not it was damaged after it was already opened or if it was damaged at the factory before it was sealed. But the fact that there's 2 games from the same company that had damage under the actual seals, I'm pretty sure that we can say that this company, the company, by the way, on Amazon is Media-Recovery. No, maybe not Recovery. If it's Media-Recovery, that sounds like a resale company. Yes, we take media, we rewrap it, and we send it off. But yeah, I think it's Media-Recover. It might be Media-Recovery. But they said that they didn't. They said that they buy it from other stuff, so who knows? What's up, Chevels? How's it going? Wait. Shit. Cheval. What's up, Cheval? I was gonna say I said it wrong. What's up, Cheval? How's it going? Alright, so let's take a look at the damage that I kind of suspect is what they found, which made them think it was resealed. So this thing for sure. This thing is not on the outside of the case. It's definitely on the wrap. So this is something that I pointed out in my submission video. I was like, this thing seems a little sus, but I'm going to send it in because I'm not quite sure. And I think that definitely was one thing that they noted. The other thing that I found, which I think is probably another thing that they probably found, was up on, I think it was, I gotta find it. Is this the one with the damage up? Oh no, this is the one with the busted. So there is a hole here. There is a hole damage to the artwork. It looks like it was like, you know, something broke the actual like case artwork and popped through and created a little tear, a little hole there. That's not obviously on the shrink wrap. So that definitely seems, again, based on what they said, damage underneath on the artwork that wasn't on the wrap, that would definitely qualify as something sus. Because there's a little damage. Again, I don't know how you could prove that it didn't just happen at the factory versus happen, you know, after the fact. But yeah, pretty sus that there is damage underneath on that one. Same thing here. So they said that there was, once again, damage underneath that made it seem like it was a reseal. Now, I think what they saw was this. This here. You see that? It's like they've been folded over on each other, or they're dented in some way in 2 different spots. So you have that spot there and you have that spot there. Again, not on the wrap at all. There's even a little tear down there. So there's definitely some damage or some shit to the wrap. Now, again, who knows when it happened, but I can see why they would say, okay, the damage is there. It's not on the wrap itself. So obviously something sus is happening here. So it makes sense. It makes sense. I can't be angry anymore, but that's a really important thing. You know, when I'm pre-grading games in the future, I will look and see if there is any small pieces of damage or anything that looks weird that the wrap doesn't show, but the underneath the wrap is odd. That, you know, it sounds obvious, but to me, a total novice who had never really graded games apart from one other game before, definitely not obvious. One thing that they look for, and we'll talk about it a little bit more, but one thing that apparently they look for is they said the 9.2 has lots of impressions and it has a bigger ring impression. So on the backs of these, on the inside of the case, there's a ring that holds the disc, right? And so on the back, if it's been laying a certain way, you can see that ring impression on the back of the game. Do you see that? Massive ring impression on the back. You can kind of see it better this way. You can see it goes around. That apparently affects the grade depending on how severe that ring impression is. So this game probably would get destroyed with a ring impression because that is pretty damn noticeable. Like, that's crazy. So yeah, the ring impression is pretty big, and it apparently affects the grade. I didn't know that. That was something that is completely new to me. I didn't know the ring impression had anything to do with what grade a game would get. But apparently on Blu-ray disc or DVD disc games, the ring impression on the back is pretty important. Next up is the fading. So this Uncharted 3 apparently had sun fading somewhere on the artwork. And I was looking at the front and back and I was like, there ain't no fading. Like, you're crazy. This doesn't look like it's faded at all. It looks great. The comment from the senior grader says the fade is on the spine. I would have never even thought to look at the spine of the game when looking for sun fading. But if you think about it, the way that people display their games is if they display them standing up between bookends, only the spine is going to be like visible to sun or to anything else, and the front and back are going to be fine, right? So if you look at it, you can see pretty saturated brown, pretty saturated purple there. Even the plane, pretty dark. If you go to the spine, look at how faded the spine is. It's totally faded in comparison to the front of the case. It's super obvious once it's pointed out that, like, oh yeah, the spine is the thing that's totally faded. And it's like, yeah, you're right. That is completely faded. The colors are almost gone on that thing. So yeah, I was completely wrong. And I'm really happy that I think his name, he put his name in the comment, just Jason. Jason, senior grader at CGC. Thank you for letting me know. Really helped me out a lot, gave me a lot of knowledge. And I will definitely be looking for some of these things going forward when I grade video games. Now, apparently, I want to take a look at... So this says bigger ring impression. So this is the God of War copy. Let's take a look. Surprisingly, I don't see much of a ring impression on the God of War copy, which is pretty nice. Let's take a look at The Last of Us, because apparently The Last of Us had a larger ring impression. How did we see the ring impression before? Maybe. Oh, well, yeah, I can kind of see it down there. You see it down there a little bit? It's still not super noticeable, but apparently it was noticeable enough for this to get docked a bit more than the God of War one. They also said that this game had more just impressions on it in general, which maybe. I mean, I trust them at this point. They were dead on everything else, but yeah, damn. I was totally unaware of all this stuff, and I'm very happy that they reached out. Apparently, you know, they have people from their team going through eBay and trying to find videos exactly like mine, people that are asking questions about stuff and wondering why things got what they got, and they're actually reaching out and commenting and trying to fill people in and educate people who are using their service on what to look for and stuff. And that to me is like, that's invaluable. Like, for a company to want to help the people using their service get better grades, like that's pretty awesome to me. That's really cool that CGC is doing that. CGC has always had, in my opinion, a really good, like, a good way of integrating themselves into the community. They seem like they actually care, you know, like that Matt Quinn guy going on different podcasts of not, you know, super huge channels, but big enough channels that that, you know, they just seem to care. And this was another instance, I feel like, where they seem to actually care about the people using their services and want them to do better and learn more and stuff like that. It just, I don't know. Whereas I feel like a lot of the other companies are just kind of silent. Like, you just use them and that's it. I know that the PSA guy was on, or Nat Turner was on PK's stream at one point, which was cool. And definitely commend him on that. But yeah, it seems like you hear from the other companies a bit less than you do. CGC's really trying to help people out, I think. People do anything to make money. Yeah, it's kind of crazy that people will reseal $20 video games to make more money. It's kind of wild. Akuma Flips. I'm broke, Java. Give me this scamming intel kind of family to be. No. Grading factory sealed products is such a funky concept. Yeah, I don't quite get it, but you probably see it a lot more in video games than you do. Well, I don't know if you see it more in video games than you do cards, but it seems, I mean, people doing it. People sealing, you know, ultra modern $50 Japanese butcher boxes and putting juice boxes in them, you know? Like, people are always out to try and scam people to make money. And it's really unfortunate that that's the case, but I think it happens a lot less than it's reported to happen, but it happens, and you always have to be aware of it, you know? But yeah, I was super happy that he reached out and he told me those things, because that really helps me going forward, figuring out, you know, what to grade, what to look for, all that stuff. Hopefully it helps you guys if you guys are interested in video games. I don't know if you guys are, but I actually flipped and collected video games for like 5 years before getting into Pokemon. That was the first thing that I ever collected. Was video games, vintage video games. I used to go garage sailing every weekend to buy video game collections and like people's consoles with their bunch of games and stuff for cheap, and I built up a massive collection and sold a bunch of stuff, and honestly kind of did very similar to what I do now. Like, the stuff that I keep now is basically paid for by the stuff that I sell, and that's what I was doing with video games. And eventually I sold off that video game collection to pay some debt stuff, which actually my dad was holding some debt for me, some student loan debt for me, and he was struggling. You know, he was looking at like buying a house and stuff, and his debt to income ratio wasn't good and stuff, and so I sold that collection to pay off a lot of that debt that he was holding, so that he could. I don't think he ever actually did anything with the whole buying a house stuff, but yeah, that's why I sold it, was to help him out. So I got rid of all my video games. One of my worst decisions ever. Well, it was a great decision because it helped out my dad, but I think about it all the time as like, oh my god, that was terrible. If I would have just held it, if I had held that collection to 2020, it probably would have been worth like $100,000. But instead, here we are. I still sold it for like $30,000, which was great, and it really helped at the time. But yeah, one of those really unfortunate circumstances that you wish you could take back, because I was basically in for nothing. Basically in for all the time I spent, but I had a lot of fun with that. Yeah. Otherwise, I had one of the best months ever this month. Between the comic shop, the flipping, and the event that I had this month, it was a great month. I'll just say that it was a great month. So I'm pretty happy about that. It was solid. And next month hopefully will be great as well. Hopefully I will be selling off a bunch of my bigger ticket items at CollectCon, and I will have a very big payday. Hopefully that is the case, but we'll see how it goes. Hopefully people are looking for Poncho Pikachus and high-end Japanese cards and all that stuff, so I can move those. If I don't move them there, I'll probably consign them with somebody who has like an eBay vault or whatever. Consign them to Catch 'em All Collectibles for like the 5% eBay vault thing or something. I don't know. I have to figure that out, but I want to move them before the end of the year. I'm trying to hit a goal. A monetary goal, a savings account goal, I guess, by the end of the year. So we'll move this stuff to get there. That's the plan. But yeah, what are you guys up to? How you guys doing? I feel like there was a Pokemon thing. I was super excited about this. So Pokemon announced, or somebody announced, TV Tokyo announced that there was going to be a Pokemon live action drama. And initially I was like, oh shit, let's go. Live action Pokemon drama series. Let's get it. Yo, Jeff, thank you very much for the $2. I appreciate it, man. How you doing tonight? Thank you for, that's a super sticker, right? Thank you for the super sticker. I think that's a super sticker. Super chat. Thank you for the $1.99, man. I appreciate it. I hope you're well. And then I read the fine print. Of the story, which said basically it's a story about like a girl who gets a job at like an advertising agency. She moves out of her parents' house. She finds her old copy of Pokemon Red, and she like reignites her love for the series through the video game. And it sounds like a really cute concept. Like it'd probably be a fun show still, but it's not the, live action Pokemon show that everyone's waiting for, So, yeah, I saw that the other day and I was like, oh man, that's gonna be so cool. And then it's like, oh, never mind. Never mind. But it could still be cool for sure. Oh, that reminds me. Jeff, thank you for reminding me. I am now doing member exclusive content. And it's exactly, I've been talking about it for a while. It's well, I guess technically this is Pokemon related, but it's not Pokemon card related, it's Pokemon game related. But I'm doing let me see if this works. Hey, here we go. I'm doing a series where I am playing through Pokemon Infinite Fusion. It is a ROM-hacked Pokemon game where you fuse two Pokemon together to create a really crazy looking Pokemon. And I'm playing through this game a bit of a members only Let's Play. So if you guys are interested in supporting the stream and becoming a member and getting those cute emotes as well as member exclusive video gameplay content, yeah, you can do that. $1.99, I think, to become a member, and you're gonna get exclusive content on top of the normal content, on top of the emotes and everything else. That was kind of my plan. I fired it off. The first episode's out. Each episode will probably come out on Sunday morning or Sunday sometime. I've recorded a few episodes so far. Games have been really fun. So if that's something that you guys want to do, because you're interested in that gameplay, you can definitely do that. You've seen someone play that game? It's wild, man. There are some Pokemon combinations that there was a Pokemon combination that was a Diglett. I thought immediately, I was like, this would be DeGreensh's new favorite Pokemon. There was a Diglett Onix fusion, and every piece of Onix was a Diglett. It was crazy. I think it was it Brock's second Pokemon? I forget what it was. But it was a Diglett Onix fusion, and every segment of Onix was a Diglett. It was crazy. It was really, really wicked looking. So it's a pretty fun game so far. So yeah, but it's something I wanted to do for a while, is offer something exclusive to members, but not something that was like, here's a bunch of Pokemon card stuff like secret plays or anything like that. But I wanted to offer something to the people who who signed up for the memberships. So some work, some don't. True. Some look really bad and some look pretty cool. But yeah, it's fun so far. It's hard so far because they like limit the amount of Pokemon that you can fight gyms with. So like Brock, I could only take 2 Pokemon into the fight. So it's interesting. I like what they're doing so far. But yeah, it's good stuff. It's fun stuff. So yeah, if anyone watches this back, is interested in that, become a member. It's up on the channel for you when you're ready. Okay. What else, guys? What else? The One Piece show came out. I know nothing about One Piece, but I think I'm gonna watch the show because I've seen hardcore One Piece fans saying that it's actually pretty good, and I'm like, Netflix anime show? Everyone usually shits on Netflix anime shows, and all of a sudden this one seems to be pretty good. A lot of people seem to be saying it's decent, so I think I'll probably check it out and see what I think, I guess. Who knows? I haven't watched a single... Actually, I tried. Somebody was like... I was looking for... Oh, wait. So I finished Naruto, and I was looking for another long-running show to watch. And I was like... People were saying One Piece, and I was like, there's like 1,000 episodes of One Piece. They're like, no, just watch it. So I go back to watch the first episode of One Piece, and there's 1,000 episodes, so it probably came out 20 years ago, but man, it looked like it came out 20 years ago. It was tough to watch. I couldn't really get into it all that much because it just looked so old. Yeah, it was kind of tough to watch. What's up, Pikachu? How's it going? Pikachu is my roommate for Charlotte Collecticon. That's gonna be fun. Yeah, that's gonna be a blast. I'm excited. I will be in Charlotte Friday morning. I'm gonna get up and feed the cats and then pretty much just leave. Get there Friday, hang out during the day Friday, and then obviously probably get the vendor passes at some point on Friday, and then start setting up stuff on Saturday. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. But yeah, Pikachu and I are rooming. It's gonna be cool. I'm looking forward to it. Oh, also, Drew, great job on Slab Podcast the other day. Yeah, you did great. Good stuff. It was a fun listen. It was good stuff. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm excited. Yeah, what am I thinking? So here's what I'm thinking for my booth. Tell me if I'm stupid or not, okay? Here's what I'm thinking for my booth. So I have 2 cases, right? I have two of those. And these cases are a little less wide than I think the Collecticon ones are. So I think I'll have like 10 inches of space in between my 2 cases, at least, because I could probably hang the cases off the edges a little bit. So I could probably make a little bit more space. What I was thinking was to bring... Hold on, I'll show you guys. So I have boxes like these boxes. And I was thinking of bringing like 4 of these boxes and just filling them with slabs that are like $50 or less. It's kind of like a value section. Like, oh yeah, all the slabs in here are going to be $40 or less or $50 or less, kind of value slabs. And having like a bunch of just boxes, like rows in between my cases, and then the cases will have all the slabs that are like $50 or more. I feel like that's a better way to where I can display more slabs without like jamming them all in the cases, you know? And then people can just like flip through the slabs that are not expensive. They can just flip through like value slabs. Great. Ow. I really screwed up my hand at some point. So yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. My 2 cases and then the row boxes to put like value slabs in. And I'm not planning on bringing a binder because I kind of need my binder cards to be in my shop, the comic shop, or else I won't have like any inventory, which would not be good. Pikachu and Java Kuma, y'all should start a podcast together. That would be fun. Man, I haven't even really thought about doing a podcast because, like, it's a lot of work. I think I'm trying to think. I like Slabbed because it's topic based. I like Pokeflips as well because it's more like Q&A for a few hours, which I like as well. I think that's good too. But I like Slab because usually there's like a main topic or there's multiple topics that you're going to cover over the course, and it's kind of similar to Next Gen TCG. I love that one. I think that one's great because it has it's very segmented. It's like here's a segment, here's a segment, here's a segment. It's very structured in a way, and I like that. But to do a structured podcast, it's a lot of work. So, and yeah, I just don't know. I don't know where I could fit that into my schedule. Although it would be really fun, for sure. But, yeah, I don't know. I just don't know if there's enough happening in Pokemon to, I mean, I guess there's probably enough. I wouldn't want to feel like I'm just covering things that everyone else has already covered, you know? But I guess people will watch because you might have a different take, or you might, you know, have a different perspective than somebody else would. Oh, new offer. That's a big ass offer. Holy buckets. What the heck? Hold on. This is a big offer. I need to actually consider this one. Let's see. It's for a Gyarados from the X and Y era in a PSA 10. Wait, that's not the... Oh, wait. Hold on. What's up, Pokemon? How's it going? Welcome. Hold on, I gotta check one thing. My bad, guys. Am I lowest listed? Kind of. Pretty much. Someone's trying to beat me by $1 with free shipping. That's so funny when that happens. Oh, I have a bone to pick because I don't understand people. Okay, wait. So I'm lowest listed. Let's see what the last ones have sold for. 200, 205, 215, 222, 242. Those are back in June and July. So the most recents are around 200, 205. Okay. I know what I'm doing. But yeah, how's it going? Sorry, 1 second. Oh, this is Hawaii. Nice. Nice. So yeah. What was I saying? I got derailed by the dollar signs. My bad. I was saying something, but I don't remember now. So we're just gonna move on, I guess. I saw a title from, was it a PokeRev video? Ooh, I think it was a PokeRev video. It was a title that was like, something about Obsidian Flames has tanked all the way down to $100 a box. I'm like, what? Everyone was pre-ordering that set for $100 a box. I don't really think it tanked. If it's sitting at $100 a box, I do think it's a set that is kind of underwhelming for people. I'm not sure how many people actually want to open it. I think it's a cool set because I love Charizard. I'm a Charizard sim. But yeah, it was just funny reading that because it's like, what do you mean it tanked to $100 a box? Like that, it's been $100 a box. That's what I pre-ordered it for. Like, what are you talking about? But maybe it went up a little bit and then came back down at some point. But Pikachu best hair in the hobby by a large margin. I can't think of anyone else with better hair, so yeah. Oh, you know what would be hilarious? Oh man, this would be I think someone may have already done it as a video. Oh, I think someone already did it as a video. Never mind. Oh, that would have been really funny though. I was thinking it'd be funny to do like a tier list where you're ranking the PokeTuber beards, but I think somebody already did that. I don't remember who it was. Probably PK or somebody. I don't think I watched the video, but I think I've heard people talk about it or seen people talk about it. But yeah, a podcast would be fun. It just it seems very I don't. Oh shit, that's tonight as well. Damn, all right. Oh, you did the PokeTuber beard video. Nice. Yeah, I knew I'd seen it. Greenie's salty about it still. Greenie has a pretty good beard. I can't even grow a beard. I just put like, I just grow in a little bit of stubble every once in a while. That's pretty much all I got. But yeah, that was a good idea. Yeah. I'm excited for Pokeflips. I don't know how well I'll be able to, or how much I'll be able to contribute to a lot of the questions, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try real hard. If you guys think Dan is on the fence about stuff, well, Dan's not really on the fence anymore. I feel like he just jumped off the fence into the deep end here recently. But I am way on the fence. Like, basically everything I talk about is from my perspective. So like, would I buy it? Would I sell it? What am I doing? What am I buying? What am I selling? Like, it's all like, this is what I do, not necessarily what you should do. But I feel like everyone there is looking for like an answer, you know, like, what should I do with my stuff? What do you think about this play? What do you think about this product? What do you think about, is there going to be an Evolving Skies reprint? I'm sure we'll get that. I'm sure we'll get that question. Yes, there is going to be a massive Evolving Skies reprint. That's what I think. Oh. Dan has hot takes in every video now. Yeah. I'm trying to think of a good, like, 1 or 2 questions. Because I do think there's interesting topics that are kind of skirted around, usually. Like, people talk about, like, the surface issue. But the surface issue, to me, is not really the interesting issue. The interesting issue is one layer deeper. But I feel like people might purposefully avoid going one layer deeper because they don't want to piss anyone off. Which I understand. Green Shiz is even more impressive than Dan in person. Dude's a mountain. I am going to be like the shortest person at this convention. I'm pretty sure I am going to be, compared to everyone else, I'm going to need a box for every photograph. Because I feel like Dan's a giant. Greenie's a giant. I feel like Drew, I don't know how tall Drew is, but Drew's jacked. I'm going to need like a shoebox or something to stand on when taking pictures with people. Or else it's going to be pretty funny. But yeah. Ooh, hot take for the night. You guys want a hot take tonight? I want to give a hot take. My hot take, it's not really a hot take. It's kind of a hot take. My hot take is that I think first impressions are very important. That's probably not a hot take, but let me clarify. I think first impressions are extremely important. And I think the problem is, hot take for the night, Packers have a better record than the Vikings this year. Who's even your quarterback? Do you guys even know who that is yet? Is it Jordan Love, the guy who's been riding the bench for 7 years? Who's even your quarterback? Nobody even knows. Y'all making a game time decision on the most important player on your team. Get out of here. No, I mean, that's very possible. Hall of Fame QB number 3. I friggin' hope not, dude. I'm done with that shit. Get out of here. All right. So, first impressions are really important. Okay? And I'm not talking first impressions. I've watched your videos and I feel like I have an understanding of who you are. I'm talking the first impression you have with someone personally. like a DM, talking to somebody, you know, face to face on a live, like face to face on a live stream, or because I feel like, and I could be wrong because I haven't met a lot of people in person yet, but I get the feeling that there are a lot of people online where they act a certain way and then you meet them in person and you're like, oh my God, he's like the nicest guy. Why is he such an asshole online? I feel like there's quite a few people in this space that you're like, why is he such a douchebag online? He's like the nicest person in person. Like, he's the nicest dude. Why is he such a troll? Why is he such a douche online? Because I think that a lot of times, like when you're commenting in live streams, or you're trying to get a razz out of people and you're trying to be funny and you're trying to be trolls and stuff like that. But it's like, it's tough in my opinion to have like a genuine like connection with somebody like online, unless you're like DMing or you're face-to-face talking, you know, on a live stream or something. But I do feel like there's no way that these people act like this to people's faces. There just isn't. And if they do, like, how are they still around? And maybe I'm just terrible at reading people. Maybe it's all just a joke, and I am saying, you know, I'm interpreting them as being an asshole, but maybe it's all just like an inside joke that I don't know. That's very possible. But yeah, you just see people talk online and you're like, oh my God, what the hell? But I do think that it's just interesting, and in my opinion, like, first impressions are so important. If I've never interacted with you before, ever, the first thing I don't want to do is shit on you. Because guess what? You have no idea if I'm joking. I have no idea. I'm probably not joking if I'm shitting on you, because I don't really shit on anybody. I don't even really playfully shit on people, because I know, like, if I'm like, there are so many messages that I've typed out in Discords and deleted because I don't know if the person that I'm typing to is going to take it the right way, you know, because we've never had like a personal conversation before. There's not that built up rapport. When you don't have that rapport with somebody, going straight into shitting on them, and even in a playful way, is not going to be received, I don't think, usually very well. And I have personal experience with this. I'm not going to name names, but there's a very popular, has a big online presence, and there's a very popular seller, big online presence, who my first impression of him is him being a jackass to me. I asked one question on a PokeFlips Live and was met with a super big jackass response, and I was just like, whoa, man. Like, I watched a lot of your videos. I felt like I had a read on this person, and my first impression, which watching someone's videos is not a first impression. I think I made a comment on a video recently. I said editing adds +10 to charisma. Like, and I think that's true, because you're not seeing, you know, me like getting angry when I mess up my line for the 4th time in a row. And, you know, like, you don't get to see that. You get to see the best version of me in a video. So, and usually people are trying to project the best versions to their audience, because, you know, if you see someone, you know, freak out or something in a video, it's not going to go over well with most people. So my first impression is, do we have a DM? Are you responding to me personally? Are you talking to me in person? Are you, no, it's not retro. Are we face to face on a live? Are we face to face in person? Are you DMing me? Stuff like that. It wasn't retro. But the response I got was just like, what? I ended up deleting my question, and I just like peaced out. So I was like, all right, I'm out, whatever. And I think my question probably just hit a little too close to home. That's what I would think. Maybe they thought I was talking about them, but I wasn't. Kind of. I wasn't really. but I understand how maybe this person could have been offended by what I said. But it was a simple question that apparently a reaction happened. I'm not going to say anything else. I'm just going to say, like, first impressions are really important. And I would just urge you to say, like, just because you've seen a bunch of videos of mine and you think I'm like, maybe you think I'm this like super nice outgoing person, like I'm probably the least outgoing person you've ever met in your life. And I think I'm nice. I would say that I'm nice. But I am the worst at holding like small talk. I am horrible at like keeping conversation going. I am such an introvert. It's crazy. I am borderline hermit at this point, I think. So yeah, I mean, editing adds a +10 to charisma. Everyone's going to be different than what you see online, but hopefully the difference is a good difference. Hopefully. And if it's a bad difference, it's not great. But it would be nice if, like, I mean, razzing and joking and all that stuff is great. Like, that's hilarious. Most of the time it's really funny. But sometimes it's just, like, you can't really tell with some people, you know, if they're joking or if they're actually being serious, if you should take it seriously, if you should not, if you should, you know, what is going on, because all you're getting is, you know, online chatter and stuff. But yeah, I just think first impressions are really important. And don't treat random strangers like assholes. Like, if you've never talked to a person before, why would your initial reaction ever be to shit on them? If you've never talked to them before, if you know nothing about like their background, you know nothing about the details of their life, you know nothing about anything, why is some people's first reactions to just go shit on them? You know? Especially in an online space where it's all text, because it's so hard to understand if it's a joke, if you're razzing, if you're doing stuff like that without some sort of indicator. That's why I love on Twitch. There's an emote, Kappa. The Kappa emote on Twitch does so much heavy lifting for showing somebody that you're joking or you're being facetious. I think it's a fantastic thing. It's a fantastic emote on Twitch that I'll probably add to my channel at some point when we unlock more emotes. I just think it's fantastic. And it's super important to be able to say, it's basically like putting /s at the end of your thing, but it's a funny looking guy, you know, making it look like it's facetious or what you're saying is a joke. But it's super important to understanding what the person is actually saying. But yeah. Let's see, what are you guys saying? That's an awesome hot take. Keyboard warriors era, easy to act tough in front of a screen. That's true. I mean, or behind a screen, I guess. Yeah. Online interactions are always too hard to read. It's difficult. It's difficult, especially if I've never met a person in real life. It's so hard. Like, if someone tells you, if someone tells you to go get a real job and basically to shut the hell up, you don't know if that's coming from a place of joking or if they're just shitting on you to shit on you. So yeah, and I took it as they're shitting on me for asking a question, and I felt like it was pretty uncalled for. And I don't have a very positive outlook on this person because my first impression of them was not great. But yeah, so I remember when Java told me I should leave the hobby because I hit a 9 on a modern card. What are you doing hitting 9s on modern cards? Just pre-grade better, Maki. What the hell? No, I'm just kidding. Obviously I didn't do that. I didn't do that, I swear. Definitely wasn't retro. What app was it asking for? Everyone's guessing now. No, nobody needs to guess. Just, no, it's fine. It's fine. I probably just didn't have enough subscribers to talk to them. Maybe that was the case. Hobby-wise, Maki's like a shining Gyarados while I'm a Magikarp attempting to splash in the desert. Well, that's nice. I said some stuff in one of his videos. Felt bad and apologized to him. Yeah, I mean, I had a really... Okay. I said a thing on eBay to somebody recently that I felt really bad about. And it's one of those lessons that this person needed to learn, but the way that I conveyed it was probably too mean. And I felt really bad about it, but I didn't apologize because I did feel like it was a lesson that the person needed to learn, and it was on eBay. And basically, I auctioned off last week a bunch of reverse holo Pokemon 151 CGC 10s. And it was very obvious that they were not the Ultra Balls. They were not the Ultra Ball reverses. They were the regular reverses. So I auctioned these off, and 2 of them got won by one guy. And the prices were pretty high. They were higher than my buy it nows on the same cards. So I was like, that's pretty cool. Auctions doing auctions, I guess. And they were paid for. So I was like, okay, fantastic. I'll ship them out the next day. And then I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning and randomly checked my email. And there was a message from this person that said, basically, it was a very nice message. It was like, I'm sorry, I thought they were the Ultra Ball reverses, not the regular reverses. It's all my fault. I should have checked further. Would you mind please canceling the transactions and, returning the money? I'm sorry. Like, they were very apologetic. Going back and reading the message not at 3 a.m., I felt really bad about the response that I sent them at 3 a.m. I basically, I'm not going to read it verbatim. I'm just going to say that I very rudely told them to check the images a little further next time. Make sure you're actually bidding on the thing that you think you're bidding on. And you may have wasted a little bit of my time, but it's okay. And have a nice day. That's basically what I said. Just turn up the anger like 100%. That's the gist of it. Just turn up the anger like 100% and you'll get there. Yeah. I may have called the person blind. It happens. But I feel like it's a lesson that needs to be learned. If you're gonna spend like $100 on cards on eBay, you should make sure that they're the cards that you actually want to buy, and not the cards that you're searching for but didn't actually find. Yeah. All of Jabba's blind eBay buyers are offended. True. Let's see. Has a similar thing recently. Guy bought a Lugia 10th movie and asked me if it was old back or new back. Check the second photo. Yeah. People just don't look, I didn't have Master Ball anywhere near the title. It wasn't in the description. I just put 151 reverse holo. That was it. So I wasn't like super clear. I put Pokeball in all of them now so that people fully understand. But like, I wasn't super clear, but I didn't put Master Ball. It wasn't there. It was just reverse holo. So I don't know how you would have gotten confused, but I also don't know if he watches the channel. But if you watch the channel, you can reach out to me on Discord and I'll unban you from my store. Oh, yeah, I feel bad about that. Yeah, I think it actually has happened quite a lot until I put Pokeball in the title. There were a lot of people that snap bought a lot of my Pokeball reverses from 151 and then immediately returned them. Did you see the cat? There's one right there that's sleeping behind Yoda. I don't know why she sleeps back there. Sometimes she sleeps there. Sometimes she just lays on the floor. It's like, cat, there's like chairs everywhere. There's couches. There's beds. Like, and you're just going to lay on the floor and sleep? Like, all right, I guess. I don't know. My cats are those cats where it's like, I have to have a second chair in the office, because if I don't have a second chair in the office, I won't get to sit in my chair. I am such a pushover. I literally bought a second chair for my office. That is a bed, essentially. I've bought many beds for my cats. Do you think they care about those beds? Nope. They don't sleep in the bed. I have multiple super comfy, big cat beds everywhere in my apartment. They don't care at all. They're like, I want to sleep in the chair, the computer chair. I want to sleep on the floor. Occasionally my cat will sleep on the couch. Although my one cat does sleep with me at night, which is cool. But cats are the real bosses. They are. They absolutely are. I'm that guy who will not move the cat. I will move before I move the cat. They definitely run the house. They definitely run the house. But yeah. First impression is important. Don't treat people you've never met like shit. That's all I got. My cat sleeps on the pile of laundry I haven't folded. I'm trying to think what. They don't really get into the laundry, which is nice. My cat will sleep in the pile of dirty laundry. I have like a tall hamper in my bedroom, and occasionally I'll walk into my bedroom and look over, and all I see are cat ears sticking out of the hamper. Like, what are you doing? Go over there and she's just sleeping. I'm like, all right, I guess. Whatever floats your boat. But yeah, I also have another thing that I've also got. Actually, never mind. I totally forgot now. See what happens? I peek at my eBay, and all of a sudden, every idea in my mind is just gone. Oh, I need a Pokemon sign. I've looked at a couple of neon signs that are the Pokemon logo, and they're like a couple $100. But I feel like it would be nice to have a good-looking Pokemon sign at the comic shop in the window. Because right now I do just normal like 8.5 by 11 paper signs for like each new set that comes out. But I feel like I want to get like a legit sign. But I'm not sure if I want to spend a couple $100 on it. It'll probably pay for itself pretty quickly. I probably just need to not be a cheap ass and just buy a sign, but hey Vishal, how's it going? What is the max cards you send to PSA and CGC at a time? Is it better to send smaller subs or one big submission? I used to be the person who would just send them all in one submission. And now I feel like I'm a little bit less that. I guess more from like because I make content though. So it's better for me as a YouTuber to send out like 50 cards and then 2 weeks later 50 cards and then 2 weeks later 50 cards, because then I can do like the PSA return videos when they come back, right? And they're kind of spaced out perfectly so that I can just kind of schedule content ahead of time. I do think that some people, if you have a lot of doubles, like if you have like 10 of one card, 20 of one card, 50 of one card, like I do think that some people will split them up. Like, you know, if you have 20 of a card and 20 of a card and 20 of a card, they might send 10, 10, and 10 in 2 submissions. I think that some people do that. I haven't really done that. Not really. But I think, send smaller submissions now. I'll send between like 30 or 50 cards at a time instead of... I have one submission though that will probably be like 100 and some cards, like 140 cards or something. Just like a whole submission. I just want a full send and get it back hopefully by Christmas and just sell. I also sent out a CGC submission that was like 90 cards, 82 cards, somewhere around there. So I guess I do both. I don't know if there's a better way. I think it just depends on, you want them all back at the same time? Because you have to think about your finances too, right? It's like, if you send out 200 cards all at once, then they're going to charge you for all 200 cards all at once. They're going to charge you $3,000 when that submission pops, and you're gonna have to pay that. So sometimes it's better, you can spread out your finances. You can be like, okay, I'll send 50, 50, 50, and 50 a couple weeks apart so that I can sell and recoup the amount of the grading fee before I get hit with the next grading fee. And you can do it that way to kind of spread out your finances. So that's another reason why I do it. It's like, I don't really want to get hit with like a $2,000 grading fee, but I guess. So there's a few different reasons why you'd want to split them up. But if you just want to send them all out, get them all back at once, pay the grading fee, and start selling, you could just do that too. I think that some people get worried occasionally that, like, if you get a bad grader, they're going to grade all your cards bad. Which I can kind of understand. It's like, I had a submission recently where it was a bunch of tag teams, and I felt like, you know when you take a test in like high school, and it's like a multiple choice test, and you choose B, and then the next answer, you're like, I really think it's B. So then you choose B again, and then the third answer, you're like, I think it's B again, but this seems weird. Would they really put 3 B's in a row? That seems super weird. So then you're like, maybe I'll choose C? Because C's like close, but I think it's B, but that would be super weird. And then you choose C anyway, and then you get it wrong later because the teacher was an asshole and put B 3 times in a row. But like, I almost felt like the grader was like that, where it was like, okay, I'll give this one a 10. Okay, I'll give this one a 10. Should I give a third one a 10? Maybe I'll give this one a 9. maybe I'm being a little too hyperbolic, but it's like, it kind of felt like that, where it was like 10, 10, 10, 9. 10, 10, 10, 10, 9. And it's like they all came from the same purchase. So it was like, why are these ones getting 9s and those ones getting 10s? But then I will say the submission I got back after that was all 10s. It was 100% 10s. So it does ultimately really depend on the grader. Sometimes you can get a tough grader. Sometimes you can get a really easy grader. So it really depends, I guess. Hopefully that helps a little bit. I know I wasn't super like, you should do this one because it's better. I don't necessarily think, I think there's a lot of variables that go into whether or not it's better just for your individual situation. I think in a lot of ways that's honestly what is so hard about like all of these like debates and people trying to figure out the best way to make money, is it's so subjective. Like, you can't really say that everyone should be doing this, like, because not everyone can do that, like I think in a way happens every time I sub the 10th movie set and go for sequential 10s. PSA always gives me 1-9. Of course. We can't possibly give this entire set a 10. True, you gotta look at it from the grader standpoint. Yeah. And I'm probably being hyperbolic with the whole, like, doing too many 10s in a row or whatever, but I do think that sometimes it feels like that, where like, all of the cards were purchased from the same place. The majority of them got 10s, but occasionally there's this weird 9 in there and this weird, 8 in there, and you're like, what? That's super weird. But yeah, I feel like everyone's way of making money in the hobby is so individualized. Like, sure, even if you think about like Dan's standpoint of like, oh, well, the Celebration Charizard is such an easy play. It's like, well, it's easy for a very small amount of people. Like, there's a very small amount of people who can do that play at that scale because of just the sheer like monetary capital you need up front. Like, to buy 20 of those Charizards, that would be like, what, $1,600? Because aren't they like 80 a piece? You'd have to spend $1,600 on 20 cards and hope that they all get 10, right? And like, there aren't that many people in this flipping game or in general who can do that comfortably. So it seems easy, and to him it's easy because he can do that, and I could probably do that. I wouldn't really want to, but I could. But I do think there's a lot of plays like that where you can buy like a bunch of $5 cards, and if they get 10s, you're making $15 on them, like in profit. Like I do that a lot, where I'll buy like lower cost cards, $5 cards, $10 cards, and I'm making 15 to 25, maybe $30 profit if they hit a 10 on each one. It's a smaller way of doing a similar thing, and you're using the same principles, but you're just not doing the exact same play, you know? There's a lot of plays out there like that, but there's a lot that goes into it too. You gotta have the capital, you gotta be able to pay the grading fees, you gotta be decent at pre-grading, you gotta be, you gotta do a lot of things. You gotta find the card, the right card, the math has to check out, all that stuff. It's a bit more difficult, I feel like, than some people make it seem. Some people make it seem like it's just the easiest thing in the world. Just do it. Just go buy Celebration Charizards and flip them for money. And it's like, well, not everyone can do that. There's a lot of variables to that. But there are a lot of other cards that act similarly. You're just making, you're spending less, you're making less per card, but it's a similar like action you're taking, essentially. Using all the same information, putting it into the same sort of play, just not that specific play. So I almost bought, this would have been a terrible idea, but I almost bought a bunch of V-Star Universe Charizards recently, and then I was like, wait a minute, V-Star Universe is getting a reprint in September sometime. So I should probably hold off on that if that's something that I actually want to do. Because yeah, there's probably going to be, I looked on, where did I look? I looked on Card Rush, and there was like 300 of them. Card Rush has like 300 brand new mint ones. I was like, Jesus, that's a lot. That's before the reprint, I think. They have that many. Like, damn. So I'm gonna be holding off on those. I love the Mewtwo and the Charizard, but if V-Star Universe is getting a big reprint, I am staying away from those until that reprint happens. Because, yeah. They're very cool, but they ain't that cool. The Radiant Charizards have come down in price as well. They're like $3 again, which I have way too many of them though. I have way too many of those. Is this card still available? It's not. No, it's not on my site anymore. It's not on eBay anymore, bro. No, sorry. It sold. Man, oh man. One nice thing about having the comic shop that I've only recently started doing. So I pay 10% for every card that sells in the comic shop, right? So it's slightly better than eBay. And I'm selling it locally, and they pay me out in cash. So it's pretty nice. But recently I've had people reaching out via Instagram saying, I was at the comic shop today, do you have graded stuff? And then I say, you know, you can check my eBay for all my graded inventory. And then the guy picked out a few cards and was like, and I was just like, okay, I'll bring them up to the comic book shop, and then you can pay for them whenever. And like, I can just sell them locally. I don't even have to do anything. I just bring them up to the comic shop, put them in the back of the case with a note, and then they eventually sell, and I'm good. It's pretty awesome to have like a spot. Like I don't need to meet them in the Target or Walmart parking lot and, you know, risk getting stolen from or whatever. I can just put it up in the case at the shop. They go in, pay for it, and I'm none the wiser. I'm not even there when it happens. So that's pretty nice. Hoping reprint quality isn't dog water like Reason says. Yeah, I hope so too, but we'll see. I don't even know how big the reprint will be. If it's going to be like a big one or small one. I feel like V-Star Universe boxes right now are like less than $80 a box. It's like, damn, what is a reprint going to do that? Like, if it's a big reprint, that might hit retail. If that hits retail, I might have to buy a case, because that set is fun as hell. That is a great set, in my opinion. But I think I'm finally venturing in to holding sealed Pokemon. Crazy, right? I think I am. I think I'm finally going to hold back some sealed Pokemon. You know why? Because And it's only on one product. And I don't want anyone to just start doing it because I'm doing it. But this is what I'm doing. I'm transparent with all my plays, all right? So, typically, how's it going to Green Shiz? Typically, I pre-order 1 case of the Pokemon Center exclusive ETBs for every set. Typically. So, what I've decided I'm going to do, because those boxes are absolute ass to open, they have nothing in them, and the promos are usually trashed. Like, my Charmanders were trashed from Obsidian Flames. I wish that I would have kept those sealed. I'm going to keep 3 boxes of them, maybe the full case. It depends. A lot of the sets I probably need them for a video, but I think I'm going to start keeping some of them sealed. Only the ones though that come with the promos. I don't really care about the previous ones, but I don't know. I open them every set and I get nothing out of them every set, and I'm just like, man, I should have just kept these sealed. So I'll probably do that now, and just see how that goes. Tying up capital to throw stuff in the closet. Woo! I'm excited. So much fun. Oh, it's going good, dude. How are you? When are you getting in on to Charlotte, Mr. Shiz? When are you getting into Charlotte? Lots of lives today? Wait, who else is live today? Shit. Who else be live today? I'm trying to figure out, because my birthday is next Wednesday. My birthday is next Wednesday. And, or no, this coming Wednesday. The Wednesday before Collecticon. I think it's this coming Wednesday. My birthday is this coming Wednesday. So I'm trying to figure out if I want to open the Team Rocket Returns pack at Collecticon, or if I want to open it for my birthday. Trying to figure it out. I think it would be fun to open at Collecticon. The problem is filming it. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to film it if I open it at Collecticon, because I want to film it to put on the channel. If I film it, obviously I'm in full control of everything if I film it here for my birthday. I said I would do it at Collecticon, but I was thinking about it and I was like, oh, I couldn't do it a birthday thing. I could make it a birthday thing, but we'll see. I got to figure out what I want to do there. You have an excuse, man? You work full-time, let that stuff cook in the closet? I arrived Friday at noon with the wife in Charlotte. All the losers going to Rusty House Friday. Yeah, I think their tour is on Friday, so a lot of people are showing up actually Thursday. I'm going to be there Friday morning at probably like 9 a.m., 10 a.m., somewhere around there. I don't think we can check into the hotel until 4, depending where you're staying. I'm staying at the Omni, so I was a little disappointed that so many people aren't staying at the recommended hotel. I thought that was the thing that people did. It was everyone stayed at the recommended hotel and then hung out. But I feel like everyone's either got an Airbnb or some cheaper hotel or some sort of thing. And it's like, damn, man. We'll have to figure out where to meet up for things. How much money would you need to go full-time in Pokemon? Well, I would need to be able to pay for... I would need to have enough capital to buy cards to flip. On top of that, I would need to have enough capital to live. I would need to have enough capital to live and have enough capital to continue buying stuff to flip. So, I don't even know. 4,000 a month, 5,000 a month? I'm not really sure. Right now, it's kind of no-brainer just to stay at my job. It's something that I've thought about. for the longest time when I started making money doing this, I was like, oh my god, please get me out of web design. I want to flip. I have flipped things now for like a decade. I love it. It's my passion. I'm super excited about it. I love flipping. I love grading. I love flipping, all this stuff. And then it's like, yeah, but my job pays really well and the insurance is really good and it's really not that stressful. And it's like sometimes I can double dip and peek at cards every once in a while when it's slow. Like it's kind of just a really stupid thing to just give up my job at this point. But yeah, it would be really fun to be full-time Pokemon. I think about all the things I could do with my day if I was full-time Pokemon, but can't really. But if you think about it, like, I'm gonna just go over, so spoiler alert for a video coming soon. Obviously I'm not gonna give the details until the video, but 1,600 in flipping this month, 2,200 at the store and the Comic-Con event this month, and over 1,000 toward the 2 collections I'm working toward paying off. So big month again this month for Pokemon. Doing very well. I'm very happy with everything still. So it was the best month so far at the store. Had a really good event last week, and the flipping was still solid. It was pretty badass. But yeah, it's like I might as well just do them both until, I don't know, until I get burnt out on Pokemon or I get fired at my job. I'm not really sure. But yeah, I think insurance is a big thing. Insurance feels like this gigantic like weight attached to my ankle in terms of because I have like some health things that need like constant prescriptions and stuff like that, and to come off of insurance I'd have to go on public option or whatever, and it would have to be like pretty decent because I need pretty regular like labs and MRIs and shit. So for that I would need like, I would probably spend a ton a month. It'd probably be like, I don't know what it would be, like $400 a month or something probably for a comparable insurance to what I have right now at my job, which is just another expense that you have to like roll into things. So yeah, my brother did offer one time though. My brother makes really good money, and he's like, if you ever want to try doing this full time, he's like, I'll pay for your monthly insurance expense, because I know that's one of the biggest things weighing you down. And I was like, I'm not really a person who wants to feel like indebted to people, but at the same time, it's like a really nice thing for him to offer, obviously. So it's one of those things that was just like, I don't know. But who knows? Maybe someday, maybe not. But yeah, I'm really excited for Charlotte. Should be really fun. I'm not sure if I'm going to watch that video tonight. I was thinking about what I don't think I'm going to watch that Unlisted Leaf video. Oh, Shiz, I don't know if you're still here, but if you are, I talked earlier in the stream, but a senior grader at CGC messaged on my video and basically went through every one of my games and told me why the games got the grades that they got, or why the games didn't get graded. It was crazy. It was like, I would have never expected that, but senior grader was just like, yep, this is where the sun fading was. This is why the 2 games didn't get graded. This is why this one got the 9.2 compared to the one that got the 9.4. Like, just straight up answered all my questions from the video, like in depth. And it was super eye-opening to game grading and like all the experience. So CGC employees lurking in Oak Discord, maybe, I don't know. They said that they look on YouTube for videos just like that to like help people, you know, figure out what's going on with video game grading. People that aren't very attuned to it. But yeah, I learned so much, like shit that I would have never thought that they actually looked at when grading cards. Like the ring impression on the back. You see the ring impression? Like apparently that, if it's noticeable or not, is something that will negatively affect the grade. It's whether or not this ring impression is like super deep or super noticeable. That will negatively affect the grade. That's something that I would have never thought of as like negatively impacting how a game would grade. I would have never thought of that. Why don't they just include that when you get the grades? I don't know. I mean, it takes a lot more time. Maybe they hope that I do what I just did and I talked about it for like half an hour today on a live stream. Maybe they hope that people see that and, you know, they can spread faster than giving everyone individual advice. I'm not really sure, but it'd be nice if they gave more detailed graders notes, but it is what it is. CGC employees alert. That wouldn't surprise me at all, because I feel like, what's his name? Matt? Is his name? His name's Matt, right? I feel like he's been on. Well, he's talked to you before, Degree Shiz, and he's been on your guys' podcast, so it wouldn't surprise me if either he was in it or he was at least in contact with you guys, I would assume. But he seems like a really cool guy. CGC just seems like they care. You know? You just get the feeling that they actually like want to be a part of the community in a way. Whereas the other companies are pretty nonchalant with their whether or not they really care all that much. You don't hear from them very often. And when you do, you can't really tell whether or not they actually give a shit. I'm going to shout this out one more time for those of you who would be interested in it. I am doing member exclusive content now. It is video game related content. So right now I'm playing through Pokemon Infinite Fusion, which is a ROM hacked version of Pokemon where you can fuse multiple Pokemon together to create wild creations, and it's really fun so far. And so this is going to be a new thing where it's not going to be Pokemon card related content or giving out any secret plays or anything, but it's going to be video game related content, stuff that wouldn't perform well on my channel but would still be fun, hopefully, for people who are members to enjoy. So I'm going to be doing, this is my first member exclusive playthrough, let's play of a particular game, and we'll be doing more in the future. So if you're interested, memberships I think are $1.99, and that will give you access to this playthrough on top of, you know, stuff in the chat like emotes and stuff like that. So if that interests you, cool. Obviously you don't have to, but I just wanted to make it known that I have exclusive stuff out there for members, which should be fun. Yes, got one. Throw it out. Thanks, Degree Shiz. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for becoming a member. CGC definitely looking for improvements for sure. I feel like PSA only is watching sports cars. Yeah, that's very possible. But that guy's massive though, right? Sports card investor. Is he the one? Does he make a lot of content with his son? I feel like I might follow him on Twitter or Instagram or something. I might follow him on Instagram. I don't know. But yeah, yeah. It seems like PSA is very much more focused on sports, which makes sense because sports is like the majority of their shit, right? But somebody had a question that I missed. I read it and then I didn't answer it. Oh, Vishal says, do you collect any other TCG? Right now, in terms of collecting, I don't necessarily collect it. It's just kind of sitting around at the minute. So I'm not selling it. So technically, I guess I'm collecting it. If I'm not selling it, I guess I'm collecting it, right? I have some cards from Full Metal Alchemist. So this is from the Card Battle Card-Ass boxes. I opened some of these. I actually bought a binder recently with a bunch more of these. I think they're really cool. These ones got PSA 10s. I got Roy Mustang and Lust in PSA 10. So those are cool. Because Full Metal Alchemist is one of my favorite anime. These are from the English set. So these are PSA 9s. I graded them myself. This is a Lust Hollow from the English set, Heroes Passing. And then same, this is another Roy Mustang from Heroes Passing, Jaded Officer, Hollow, pretty cool artwork of them. And then these are some, like, I guess you'd call them ultra rares, but I think they're called transmutation cards. They're harder to pull from the English set, but I got a Alphonse Elric. They are, you can see through them, obviously. They're I guess as transmutation cards, they're like, you know, you could see behind them. I don't know. They're transparent. So yeah, PSA 10 Alphonse Elric, and then this one is a PSA 9 Roy Mustang. So some pretty cool cards from Full Metal Alchemist. Those are hanging around right now. Haven't done anything with them yet. And then I've got some Union Arena stuff that I just got back from CGC. So I have some Union Arena. I actually have a bunch of Game of Thrones cards. There's an old Game of Thrones TCG. I bought a collection of it for like $100. It was like a couple thousand cards, and I went through and looked at some of the artworks and stuff. But the Game of Thrones one is kind of lame because I think they were going more for like a board game aspect, like a playable game. There's not really much collectability to it. There isn't like any hollows or any ultra rares or anything like that. But the cards are still pretty cool looking. It doesn't have the TV people. It's before that. It's illustrated cards, kind of like the original Lord of the Rings TCG or CCG or whatever. So massive as in 200 to 300k subs. Big for a sports card show. Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool. It sucks. I wish I actually got an email from BGS the other day saying that they were going to be grading my cards. I would have never in a million years guessed that they would have emailed me anything. So that's cool, I guess. I guess that's gone into grading. That's pretty awesome. What else? What else? What else Pokemon related? Anything else interesting happened this week? My ear is not to the ground of a lot of stuff happening in the Pokemon sphere. Now, I'm actually leaving Monday morning. So Sunday, I will be. What are you doing, cat? Sunday, I will be there all day. I decided to stay an extra day because I'm rooming with Pikachu, but then I was like, I'll treat myself to an extra day and actually hang out and like relax, have like one night's sleep away from the cats. I could just chill in the hotel and relax for a bit. But I think there's quite a few people staying until Monday, so it'd be cool to just kind of hang out after the convention with people. But Rich, I wish. This is my one vacation this year. Kind of. It's not really a vacation, but it's like the only vacation that I'm like paying for myself to go do something. So I'm gonna try and make the most of it. And then in the spring, hopefully, I haven't talked to him about it in a while, but hopefully I will be going to Japan with my brother. That's the plan, I think. It was the plan. I hope it's still the plan, but who knows? Should be fun though. I'm excited. That's coming up. So it's not this weekend. This weekend is a 3-day weekend, by the way. That's what I'm talking about. I didn't even know it was 3-day weekend until like yesterday. And I was like, oh shit, it's a 3-day weekend. Hell yeah, that's awesome. So 3-day weekend's gonna be awesome. And then the fall, it's the week after next. Should be interesting. What are you doing? She's trying to eat. She's trying to bite me. You trying to bite me? Is it time for bed? Is that what you're saying? I honestly. SM Pratt's video. Did you guys watch SM Pratt's video? I watched SM Pratt's video. He's kind of taking a step back from the content creation part of things, which makes sense to me. That's fine, whatever. I didn't feel like he was putting out much content anyway recently. but it seems like he just wants to kind of step back from it, doesn't want to. I definitely see where he's coming from. It sounds like he's got burnout. It sounds like he's not too interested in the current sort of call out culture, drama, bait trend that I feel like is kind of popular at the minute in the Pokemon space. So he kind of wants to peace out on that, which I completely understand. I try to avoid that side of the internet like the plague. I despise that type of content. It's not my thing. So I try to stay as far away from call out drama culture as possible. And I would say that, like, he is the butt to a lot of jokes, and people are joking. But at a certain point, when you're the butt to every joke or a lot of jokes on people's channels, then it can wear on you after a while. I did find it interesting. There was a comment. Was it on the video or was it on Instagram or Twitter or somewhere? Some person saying, like, basically saying that, you know, the whole content creator audience relationship is super weird. But basically, you know, Scott's video was what his video was, and then someone in the comments was like, I can understand being frustrated by, you know, people being mean to you, but is that really enough to stop making videos over? Like, bro, what? It's that whole idea of, like, you're only to people what your content is to people for the most part. So, like, I'm an individual. I have individual problems. I am a real human being. But to you guys, I'm a content creator. I put out content. If I stop putting out content, then it's not the concern of, oh, what happened to Java? It's, where's the content? To a lot of people, not saying everybody, but to a lot of people, it's, oh man, the content's gone. It's not, oh, I wonder if something's wrong with Java. There isn't like a personal, typically, there isn't like a personal attachment, which there shouldn't be, by the way. There probably shouldn't be a personal attachment, but there's that detached style of, like, I care because I like your content. And if the content is going away, then what do I care about your personal feelings? Which I think is kind of shitty. It's like, you know, these people are people too. But, you know, you get the same sort of thing with, like, rich people. When people who are rich become depressed, people are like, why are you depressed? You're worth $20 million. It's like, well, yeah, he has a lot of money, but he could still be depressed. Like, money doesn't solve depression. Sorry to say, for those who think it does. Being comfortable with money helps a lot, but it doesn't solve, you know, people with money can still get depressed, but a lot of people don't seem to think that that's the case. So I think unfortunately there's going to be some of that, you know, but good on him. I think that if you need time away, you need time away, and you take that time away, and hopefully you come back and create more content. I think that for some reason people shit on creators for, you know, especially successful creators, if people are having problems. They like to shit on people, but it's unfortunate. I'm sure there will be hit pieces made about him, making fun of him or his decision, or not agreeing with his decision, or not agreeing that he's the butt of the joke a lot of times, or not agreeing with those things. But it just is what it is. That is what the Pokemon space in a lot of ways has become. It's become the call out drama-y sort of stuff. I don't like it. That's why I'm not a part of it. I try to stay as far away from it as possible. I just like to document what I'm doing. I like to have fun opening stuff. I like to have fun grading and selling, sharing my successes and my misses and everything, and hopefully people learn a little bit from stuff if they can. Or I don't even think I'm in a place to teach people. I just like to document what I'm doing. That's it. I think back to, you know, like my 5 years of buying and selling video games, and I wish that I had a camera strapped to me the whole time. Going to all those garage sales I went to, finding all those boxes full of games and stuff, and selling the ones that I did, and amassing this gigantic collection full of stuff, and then selling that stuff. And then, like, all of those adventures, all of those things, like, I have memories of them, obviously, but, like, that was so much fun. And I think that's why I've really gotten into the Pokemon stuff, because I got a taste of it with the years that I did it in video games. And then getting into the cards again, it was like, oh my god, I found another thing that I can do this with. I can flip, you know, because that was so much fun when I did before. So, yeah, I just... it's fun. I wish more people just did it for fun instead of doing it for views, you know. Like, it's fun to get views. It's fun when people watch your stuff. It's validating in a way to all the work you put in, but at the same time, it's like, you still have to have fun doing it, and you have to be nice to people. That's why, you know, a lot of people get frustrated with, oh, I can't watch PokeRev because he's too loud, or I can't watch Leonhardt because he cried about his feelings one time. It's like, to me, those guys are like the positive arbiters. Like 99% of what they do is just positive. It's just fun. You know, they're just doing it for fun. It's like, it's just fun. I don't know. I like things being lighthearted and fun and interesting and less shitty. Talked with a Chinese buyer about the market in China. He said he was saying some guy dropped $500K at a car convention. He said even the kids want the expensive cars like ponchos. Apparently Chinese buyers don't care about Charizard, only Pika and waifus. Huh. I mean, that kind of makes sense, right? Because, like, the most expensive, the cards that shot up were obviously the waifus from, like, the Sun and Moon era that came out. And then the alternate arts from the, well, kind of everything from the Sun and Moon era, because the Sun and Moon era came out in China at that point. And then, obviously, ponchos. I mean, if that guy wants to buy my ponchos, send them my way. I'll ship them out. He can have my ponchos. Pokemon question. Give us all your Baiyi search terms. I say this all the time. I don't have saved Baiyi search terms. All I do, well, what I used to do was I used to Google Charizard Japanese name, and then I would copy it, put it into the Baiyi thing, and then Google Translate card in English to Japanese, put it behind the Charizard name, and that was my search term. That's all I do. And now I feel like all I do is put the Pokemon name, because I feel like for some reason when you type in, I feel like they changed something about their search algorithm. So now when you type in card, it just brings up a bunch of random shit. Even if it's accompanied with like Charizard, for instance, it just brings up random shit. So that's all I do is I'm probably the least, like, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure like Retro and all, DNA and all those other people that get really into the buying from Japan, I'm sure that they have more complicated like search terms or queries or something. I have no idea. That I've only ever looked up Japanese Pokemon name, Japanese word for card. That's all I do. And then whatever comes up, I buy. Well, not everything, obviously. I look through them and make sure they look good, but or if they're cards that I want to buy at the price I want to buy. But how much did we save with the Baiyi 15% off? I bought some stuff. I bought one lot that was really good. I bought 5 of the Charizard V-Stars from V-Star Universe, 4 of the Mewtwo V-Stars from V-Star Universe. They all came in the same lot, and I think I got them for $24 a piece, something like that, or $27 for the Charizards and $20 for the Mewtwo's. I don't know. It was like super cheap, so I was like, oh, I have to do that, and they're all tenable. So that was a decent buy, a decent lot that I found. There was some other stuff that I got the 15% off on, but I never think to look at the coupons ever. So I think Pikachu actually reached out, was like, hey, are you buying stuff with this 15% off coupon? I'm like, what coupon? And then I look and it's like 15% off up to 99 transactions. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, I guess I'll be buying stuff. I actually haven't bought off Buy in a while. That was my first purchase in a while. I'm trying to sell right now. Like, obviously I still want to buy to have inventory, but I'm trying to sell. Like, I'm trying to hit a goal at the end of this year for checking account balance. So when I hit that, then I can start buying again. No, I mean, I'll continue to buy, but bullish on ponchos. How much did we save? Cap. Buy coupons, easy 10s, yeah. Bullish on ponchos. Bullish on selling ponchos. There is a part of me that's really gonna miss the ponchos when I get rid of them. But part of me thinks, you know, when I'm rich someday off selling Pokemon and the ponchos are still like, you know, let's say they go up to 10K a piece, I could easily buy those, right? If I really wanted them. When I'm rich, I'll spend 10K on a poncho, why not? What else do I have to do with my money now that I'm rich? If I really want it, I'll just buy it again. That's how it works. I saw there is a Team Rocket Gang booster box from Collector's Cash. Or no, Collector's Cash? No. Yeah. No? What? I don't know. One of those big companies on eBay right now. And I was like, ooh. I think it's like $16,000. I'm like, no. I'm not gonna spend more than my twice what my car is worth on a fucking booster box of Pokemon cards. That's crazy. It would be fun though. I would crack all 60 packs. I would be that crazy motherfucker that would crack all 60 packs. We'd send every single card to CGC and we'd just go ham. That's what we do. Every single card to CGC, crack them all. We going ham. My luck, it'll be resealed. We'd get really screwed. But all right, guys, I think it's time. I think it's time for me to wrap it up a little early tonight and go to bed. Appreciate you being here, though. Sorry we didn't watch the video that's in the thumbnail. I will remove it from the thumbnail. I don't want no false advertising. Not really sure what else we talked about, though. What else did we talk about that I can put in the thumbnail? I'll have to do something for the thumbnail, but appreciate you guys being here. I hope you guys have a fantastic night. I'll see some of you guys, obviously, in Charlotte. I will be on Pokeflips. Pokeflips on the 13th. Pokeflips on the 13th. Very excited about that. For all of your questions and comments and roasts and whatever you want to do, I will be there. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Thanks again for the membership, the Green Shiz, appreciate it. And Jeff, thank you very much for the super chat earlier, appreciate it as well. We'll see you guys later.